Hello, Virgo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level, unbiased truth in the middle, really looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I do have a different tarot deck we'll be using for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, or if you're a cross watcher then vice versa, just know that that's totally fine and totally normal. The whole reading can be reversed. So do remember to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, on your side of this connection, you have I was disillusioned with the High Priestess in reverse. This is an energy to me of this person turning out to not be who you might have thought that they were. With the High Priestess in reverse, I feel like maybe you didn't really trust your gut when it comes to this connection, because the disillusioned card and just concept can just kind of mean that you saw this person maybe for who you wanted them to be or who you thought that they could be, and in somewhere along the way that bubble got popped, and it feels like it was like, you know, who you wanted them to be and who you thought they were kind of went away and was replaced with who they really are. And I feel like that in turn has maybe affected your level of like being able to trust yourself or open yourself up again. You know, we'll kind of get into what's really going on, but I feel like this is either a past connection or somebody who keeps coming, like who comes in and out of your life. Like this is someone that you've dealt with in the past in some capacity. Now this person there will be a return with the Page of Cups in reverse. So I do feel as if this person will try to make their way back, but with the Page of Cups in reverse, I feel like they're not really gonna have changed. The Page of Cups in reverse is kind of an energy of being emotionally unavailable, which I feel like is maybe the energy that they carried into this connection in the beginning. And it feels like even though they come back to this connection, they still kind of are carrying that same energy, which means that this cycle would repeat itself. Now, in between this connection, you have It's Never Over with the Ace of Wands in reverse. So there is like, I feel like it just feels like this cycle with this person just continues to repeat. And I feel like what this is saying is it would continue to repeat until something is done to break it, which we'll obviously see what that is when we dive into tarot. The overall theme for the reading is power. So this to me is about you taking your power back from this person, from this connection, in some way, shape, or form. So let's see, Virgo, what do you have for your side of the connection to this person? This is for Virgo's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Virgo's side of this connection. Getting stuck on my mic. This is for Virgo's side of this connection, please. This is Virgo's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Virgo's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Okay, I feel like you had an overwhelming amount of patience when it comes to this person. I feel like you turned a blind eye a lot. Either that or you, again, it just kind of feels like maybe chose to see what you wanted to see in this connection. And ultimately, I feel like it's because you wanted to make it work with this person. Like you wanted them to be who you thought that they could be. I just feel like it's like you were you're so patient with them to the extent that it was almost like you were over forgiving. Not that I think forgiveness is a bad thing, but forgiveness also doesn't mean accepting that person or the behavior back into your life, right? I don't know. I want to get more. So Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Virgo side of this connection, please. Could be dealing with a fire sign. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You definitely don't have to be. But I feel like, yeah, because there is a conflict. You feel like this connection is in conflict right now. Now with the 5 of Wands and the King of Wands, I almost feel also like you've gotten in the middle of this person's inner conflict. Like it feels like it's not necessarily like you versus them, but more like you versus you and them versus them that's coming out in the form of the connection. I also, with the 5 of Wands, feel like you're a little conflicted when it comes to what you should do in terms of this connection, because I feel like there's obviously good things about it, right? But it just feels like the way that things have been, I don't know, it just feels like you're very confused. You don't know what to do. Like you, especially if this person like seems apologetic or like says they're going to change or something like that. I don't know. It just feels like you're conflicted. There's a lot of conflict. You got your confliction that's going on, your inner conflict, and then the conflict existing between the two of you. I definitely feel like we'll see this 5 of Wands in other decks too. I could be wrong, but with the Tower here, yeah, it's like, let me get more. This is for Virgo's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Virgo's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with, please. Virgo's side of this connection. I feel like it's like your head is telling you one thing, but your heart's telling you another. Because there's that Page of Cups in reverse, same as right there. So it's like you're wanting this connection to manifest into like its potential, but yet with the Page, like the Magician in reverse is like the lack of like tools or foundation in order for that to happen. With the Page of Cups in reverse, it just feels like what's basically coming through is you're wanting this person to be someone that they're not. You're wanting this person to be what you had the illusion of them being. You saw the good in them. You see the good in them. And that's an okay thing to do, absolutely. But you also don't want to let what you see or what you think that the potential of this person is allow you to overstep your own boundaries or cross your own boundaries or sacrifice like your needs or your worth for the sake of the connection because you see what this person could be. Because what basically feels is happening is you see, it's like you give this person the benefit of the doubt, you think things are going to change, and then they just keep continuing to show up in the same way in this connection. And it leaves you going, man, this really sucks. But then you continue to have this patience with them. Like, it's like you're so patient, you're so understanding, like almost to a fault. Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. One more. This is for Virgo side of this connection. Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Virgo side of this connection. I don't feel like you're treated very well here. This especially, so King of Cups in reverse, which can be like emotional manipulation, like depending on the intensity, can be emotional abuse. Gaslighting, like just like that whole spectrum of things. Which I feel is what led to a falling out or a distance that is now in between this connection. Like there is a distance between these two people, whether you are in separation or emotionally just distant, like living in the same house but almost on completely different sides of the world kind of thing. But it feels like regardless of how they treat you, you still prioritize them. You still show up for them. You still choose them over yourself. And that's why it's time to take your power back, is because it's almost like you see so much what this person could be that you're seeing the good in you in them. Everybody is a reflection of us. So you see the good in yourself in this person, which is why you believe in it so much, is because it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the good in you. But not everyone has the same heart. Not everyone has the same mindset. Not everyone has the same level of self-awareness and empathy as you do. And so there's a need to see, like, a lot of times we see people who we want them to be or who we think they can be because we see them through the lens of how we view ourselves, right? The lens of the good that we see in ourselves, which can be so hard when people treat us a certain way. It's almost like we can't fathom why they would do that, because like we would never do that to them. But they're not you, they're a reflection of you for sure, but they're not you. Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Virgo side of the connection. Virgo side of the connection. Okay, so there's a need for you to open your mind and your heart to what's really going on here. Because you continue to want, invest in, and prioritize this connection regardless of how this person shows up in it. And there's a reason for that. An attachment or like I don't know, something going, because there's this tower and this connection. This hasn't just happened once. It's like this is a repeat. Like there's a pattern here. So there's a need to shift perspective of what's really going on here. Or open your perspective. See it from a bigger picture view. Virgo side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Virgo side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Yeah, because you're, okay. Lovers in reverse, you're accepting way less than what you're deserving of in this. Over and over again. This is not just one type of thing. This is not just a one-time thing. This is like, this keeps happening. And you're conflicted. It's like, but that's why you're needing to look at, like, sometimes the hardest thing that we have to do is we have to accept people as they show us that they are. The more that we hold on to who someone could be or like their potential, the more that we betray our own gut feelings, our own instinct of that, seeing who they are and accepting that as it is. This person's energy toward Virgo, there will be a return with the Page of Cups in reverse. This person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo, please. What does Virgo need to know regarding this person's energy toward them? This person's energy toward Virgo. Okay, well, I always say this. Your safety net for this person. They've attached their sense of stability to you, to this connection. So I feel like now, it doesn't mean that they prioritize it. It means that they look to you for stability, but almost at the expense of your own stability here. Because this person's showing up as the devil. I'm not saying they are the devil, but they're definitely in this devil energy. Like, I don't know. Something kind of sketchy going on with them, to be honest. Take this devil. Let's see. Because that devil kind of feels like their energy. This person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo, please. See, okay. They do have a lot of love for you. They do care about you. But they refuse to make any changes with the Death in reverse. Like, they love and care about this connection, but they're dealing with emotional unavailability. They could, with the devil, since they're showing up as it, they could be struggling with addiction, other unhealthy distractions or patterns. And it's like they love and care about this connection, but yet at the same time, they refuse to make any changes. They refuse to change for the sake of the connection. Now, that's the hard thing, is because I feel like you see who this person could be if they did change. You know, if they made different decisions, or if they, whatever the case might be. And that might be where you're conflicted, because you're like, oh, if this person would just change, or if they would just get their addiction under control, or, I mean, it could be anything. They do have love for you, though. But remember, people can only love us to the extent that they love themselves. And if they're caught up in this devil energy, they're not coming much from a place of love. But they do have love for you. It's just, yeah, it's like they refuse to make any changes. Maybe they even refuse to take accountability. This person's energy toward Virgo, which is why you have the Power card. I mean, this really is about taking your power back here. This person's energy toward Virgo. I wanted to turn all the way around or hit the table. This person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo, please. That's way too many. Yeah, that's too many. I want to reshuffle, though, because this person's energy feels very chaotic. It's very chaotic energy that they are in. All right, this person's energy toward Virgo. All right, this person's energy toward Virgo, please. See? Okay. I mean, yeah, they have the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Like, they do see potential in this. That's why I don't get this like, they've just completely, like, used you and took you for granted. Although I feel like it could feel like that because of the way that they have acted in this connection. And I feel like that's why you're so conflicted, is maybe this person really does, you know, show you, or, like, I do feel like this person really does care about this connection, have a lot of love for this connection, like, see you as a form of their 10 of Cups, someone who they want to be in their life long term. But then they don't show up in a way that is sustainable, that allows that to be sustainable. You know, people can love you all day long, but if they don't know how to love you and how to show up in the connection in a healthy way for you, for themselves, but for you, since this is a reading for you, then it doesn't matter how much, you know, I think people, there's that question of, like, is love enough? And I think that no, it isn't. I've come to experience that in my life. People can love you all day long, but if they don't know how to show up, if they don't know how to do the self-reflection, if they don't know how to respond rather than react, if they don't know how to communicate, if they don't know how to be vulnerable, then a connection is not going to be sustainable for the long term, no matter how strong the attraction is. And so I do feel like that's the question you're needing to ask yourself here is, yes, I see potential in this person. I see what this connection could be, but are they capable of being what it is that I need and deserve when it comes to love? And your answer to that question is the most important. You know, because then I feel like the other part of you comes in. It's like, oh, well, I'm so attracted to them, or we have so much fun together, or I've never felt this way before, or whatever comes through. I've never, you know, experienced this kind of connection before. You know, don't listen to the part of you that says this is as good as it can get for me, because if you are not being treated with respect, if you're not being loved in the way that you deserve, if you're not being showed up for in the way that you deserve, then that is not as good as it can get. And nobody's potential, nobody's potential is as good as it can get either, meaning that you don't have to sacrifice your worth for the sake of what something could be. Now, when I talk about looking for potentials in connections, it's important to remember that, yes, obviously we invest in connections for the potential of what it could be, right? But investing in something for what it could grow into, how it could continue to grow, versus hoping that things change so that you can have what it is that you need and deserve, are two very different things. If you are in a connection today and you are unhappy with the way that you are being treated and unhappy with the way that things are, and you're saying, you know, if this connection, if you can say if this connection never changed, if it stayed exactly as it was, this person treated you exactly as they do, and nothing ever changed, could you be happy? And if your answer to that is no, then you're looking for the connection to be something that it's not. And that is the hardest lesson I had to learn. Is we cannot look to love somebody for their potential. We have to be able to be willing to accept people as they are and make our decisions accordingly. And I feel like you're learning that a little bit, but fully taking your power back from this connection is recognizing that you are deserving of more than this person is capable of giving you. And they're deserving of love too, absolutely. But it's not your responsibility to give it to them regardless of how they treat you. Unconditional love does not equal unconditional tolerance. All right, this person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo. And I promise you, the love that you are deserving of, it exists, but you can only attract it when you start standing up for it. This person's energy toward Virgo. They come from a very, I feel like, I don't want to say they're easily triggered, but when they are triggered in this connection, they react very aggressively. It feels like it's like, you know, one of the biggest things in relationships is you're going to experience triggers. You're going to experience trauma coming out. You're going to experience those things. But you have to be willing to work through those triggers without putting the burden of that on the other person. On this person, it feels like when they're triggered, it's just like, I feel like they turn into this devil. I feel like that's what it comes down to. is I don't think that they are the devil. I don't think that they even like are a bad person. I just think that when they're triggered or when they start getting overly emotional, they turn into this devil. And they start coming, that's where kind of maybe the more emotional manipulation kind of starts to come out, things of that nature, is because they don't know how to handle their own stuff. And so they burden it on the connection. And you have so much patience and understanding for them, but to the extent where it started affecting you. This person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo, please. This person's energy toward Virgo. Oof, okay. I feel like this person has a tendency to be a little cruel, but only when their devil comes out. And maybe that's that conflict you're having, is you're like, well, everything's fine. It's only bad when their devil comes out, only when their devil comes out. But it's like, that's not something that you have to put up with. That's the biggest thing you have to realize, is that you don't have to put up with the treatment and the disrespect just because this person's triggered. That's not a healthy dynamic. I just feel like this person is struggling a lot within, and this is what I said, it's kind of like you versus you and them versus them. I feel like this person is struggling a lot within, and it absolutely comes out in those triggered moments in this connection. Now, obviously, there's good parts of this connection, right? There's that part that when they do show up as who they could be. And that's the part that I feel like you're clinging to, and you're saying, this could be so good if this person could just be, this person. But then their devil comes out. And then it's just, it goes from like bad to worse. And I feel like that's what you've dealt with so much in this connection, is like that. And I feel like you continue to allow it to happen because of what it could potentially be. And that is where you are betraying yourself a little bit here. This person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo, please. This person's energy toward Virgo. They don't know how to love you. They want you. They want this to work, but they don't know how to love you. This person hasn't figured out how to love themselves. This person hasn't figured out how to love. They want to, but they haven't figured out how. And that is greatly affecting you here. And that's like with the Magician in reverse, and I said this. It's like you want this connection to be what it could be, but the foundation and the tools required aren't there, and it was clarified by the Page of Cups in reverse, right? They don't have the emotional awareness, emotional availability, emotional intelligence. They haven't done the healing to show up for this in order to love you in the way that you're truly deserving of. And if this person continues to come back into your life or continues to, with this, there will be a return. I actually almost feel like this is like there will be a return of their devil. Like, it's not just this person. It's like when their devil returns. The return of their devil. Sounds like a song or a movie title. And then you have It's Never Over. It's like things never change. You might go through spurts of like there being good times with this person, but this devil always comes out, and I feel like this devil does so much harm to you. And this is their inner devil. It's their shadow side. It's the part of them that's triggered and unhealed that they project onto the connection and onto you, which is why it comes down. And that is the biggest thing I have learned when it comes to healthy relationships. It is when two people have learned to handle their shadow and do not let their shadow and allow their shadow to affect the other person, which is what the whole healing thing's about. All right, we're going to hop on over to the extended. You have It's Never Over with the Ace of Wands in reverse. I'm going to pull 9 different messages looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to move, what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. I just blinked there for a second. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Virgo, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Virgo.